Today we've got an updated version of the top 10 rarest Fortnite skins, which have not been re-released. There aren't really that many rare skins in Fortnite, and that's because most of them are re-released. I guess that's what makes them rare after all. But we know you guys are on a mission to collect all of the rarest skins in the game and have compiled a list of our top 10. And Fred helped make it.
Wait, come back!
Well, Fred, I'm sorry, but I don't know how to tell you this, but you just aren't rare, okay? Now, if you're not using code T5G when purchasing new items from the item shop, the only explanation is that you are incapable of doing so, because, I mean, come on, why would you not use code T5G? Even John Wick's twin brother uses it. Which, comment down below, who is the real John Wick? Is it the Reaper, or is it the new John Wick skin, or is he an imposter? Let's do this thing. Video. It's a video. Number 10, the purple Ghoul Trooper. The Ghoul Trooper was probably the first major rare collectible in Fortnite that kicked off with all the different cosmetics. Showing up barely a month after the game was released, the classic white Ghoul Trooper appeared in the item shop for the Halloween holidays and would cost you 1,500 V-Bucks. The skin was a remake inspired by the Karate Kid films, where a scene involves some bullies wearing the same costumes. However, it was only in the shop for a short time before disappearing into what felt like an eternity. Most skins had rotated around every few months or so, but when it was going on 6 and 9 months later with still no sign of the Ghoul Trooper re-emerging, it soon became a hot piece for any collector. For any OG players out there, you'll probably remember this being one of TSM Myth's favorite skins at the time. For all of us that didn't buy it at the time, though, we thought we may have lost the chance forever. The thing is, there was so much desire for the skin that Fortnite simply couldn't miss out. A year after the white Ghoul Trooper's release, the next Halloween, Fortnite released it again, but with a twist. It now has a few different color variants. You get that standard white and a bonus glowing green style too, but obviously this could annoy many of the people who thought they had a rare skin by releasing it again. So for them, they gave all OG owners of the Ghoul Trooper their own personal purple style. This way, it's a win-win for everyone, unless you prefer the classic white skeleton though. But in at number 9, we've got Codename L, which was last seen in the shop 482 days ago. Now, this was probably a perfect skin for any of those happy-go-lucky people out there. This entire Santa's Not-So-Little Elf outfit looks like it could be straight out of a Christmas movie, which, as it turns out, it is. Oh my god. Oh my god. Who knew? I didn't. Codename Elf is designed after Will Ferrell's character in the film Elf that released in 2003, which incidentally was filmed in New York City, which Top 5 Gaming is located. This is top secret information, though. Don't tell anybody. It's one of those few Christmas films that made its way into the Christmas classics list and was enjoyed by many around the world. It's also one of the rarest skins you'll ever see, showing up in the item shop during mid-December of 2017 and January 2018. There were many Christmas-themed outfits that came out at the time, and to be honest, some of them were rotated in the item shop later, but Codename Elf hasn't been released since and has become one of the king collector's pieces for the Christmas season. And in at number 8, we've got the Galaxy skin. Without a doubt, this is definitely not a common skin. I mean, you'd be lucky to encounter one Galaxy skin per game, if any. Between the 10th and the 23rd of August of 2018, you could pre-order a Samsung Galaxy S9 and get yourself a free Galaxy skin that came with its own entire set and a bonus 15,000 V-Bucks. In all honesty, I don't think they could have done a better job with the design on this skin. It had an all-body visual effect that made it appear as though you were just staring into the universe with galaxies spread throughout. I think if Fortnite added some Galaxy wallpaper in a house, then he could just stand with his back to the wall and he'd camouflage right in, except for the minor glowing outlines and hands. We'd seen many exclusive skins before, but there were a fair amount of people that weren't happy such a legendary style of skin was so exclusive to a $1,000 plus pre-order purchase. You could even find people making videos online on how to sneakily get it by going into a store and using a display model to access the outfit. We haven't really seen a skin with this visual effect since, and I could easily purchase a whole series of skins like this. With many skins, you'll probably just hope it reappears in the item shop later on. But this is one skin that you can be 99.9% sure we won't have a chance to get again. And in number 7, we've got the Recon Expert. Now, we've really gone back to the OG skins. This Recon Expert was only available in the first few months of the game's release. In October and November of 2017, you could get this outfit for 1,200 V-Bucks as it was only a rare grade. That's most likely why people didn't realize this would be so rare down the line, because it was only a blue rare grade. You didn't find hordes of people buying this outfit, which as a result made the Recon Expert an even more exclusive skin when people realized that she wasn't showing up in the shop again. It may not have the most fancy outfit, and it is actually fairly simple, but it's the Recon Expert's rarity that makes this one of the biggest collector's pieces in Fortnite. And I actually remember thinking this wasn't worth buying at the time. Well, that was just, I was wrong. I was wrong, okay? Number 6, Ludwig. last seen it in the shop 210 days ago. Bringing it back slightly more recent times, in late September and late October of 2018, we had the Oktoberfest set introduced to the shop. It was everything you'd need for all those players ready for the Oktober Festival. Although I can't imagine the two working out that well together. Drunk Fortnite doesn't sound like a great idea. Might be a little bit too nauseating. It might be a good time for you, but for your teammates, maybe not so much. Ludwig is the male counterpart of the set and dressed in an all-traditional Oktoberfest garb with an old-fashioned beer stein attached to his belt. And I mean, just look at that beard. For most men, a beard is just a beard. But everybody can appreciate when the effort's put in. He's an epic grade and would cost you 1,500 V-Bucks if he showed up again, but I doubt that'll happen as he was part of a holiday event in Germany, which means he could be exclusive to that, and there's no promises Ludwig will show up again this year either. Number 5, the Recon Scout. The Recon Scout first showed up in the early seasons on November 3rd, 2017, barely a couple months after the game had come out. Unlike many on this list, the Recon Scout was actually popping up in the item shop every now and then, giving people plenty of time to decide whether they wanted it or not. But when a certain skin rotates through the shop frequently, you don't exactly imagine it to be a collector's piece or a rare skin in that regard, which at first it wasn't. However, in September of last year, the Recon Scout showed up once more before never being seen to rotate through the item shop again. Sometimes skins might not just sell as well, so they stop rotation, or sometimes they just need to make way for the mass amount of new skins Epic Games are creating. Either way, it's resulted in the Recon Scout now being a rare collectible skin. But in at number 4, we've got the Royale Bomber. This war hero looking outfit, the Royale Bomber, appeared in July of last year as part of a $300 PlayStation 4 bundle pack. Yep, it was another exclusive skin that you'd have to have spent a load of money to get. If you were lucky enough to get a hold of this bundle, then you could easily switch the skin between different platforms by linking your account. But obviously most people won't just buy a brand new console for the skin, especially if they already have a working PlayStation. But you can't argue that the skin was brilliant. It looks like the leader of all the bots, the one that's worked his way up the ranks the most so far. Clearly, the exclusiveness to the console bundle is going to make the Royale Bomber a rare skin. However, they did release a smaller bundle where you get the skin with a controller for around $60. Now, if you look online, you'll find them selling for at least $150 for just a normal controller and a Fortnite skin. So it's technically still available, but again, not everyone's willing to pay so much. Number 3, Midnight Ops. Very similar to the Recon Scout, the Midnight Ops skin has also been seen frequently throughout the item shop, but stopped showing up in October of last year. Showing up in late March, the Midnight Ops skin was around for a good 7 to 8 months on rotation if you decided to purchase it, and I can see why there was a fair few that did. The skin was theorized to be designed after popular YouTuber and streamer Syndicate, except obviously with more of that Fortnite bulkiness. As the male counterpart to Shadow Ops, any stealthy player out there couldn't help but admit that this is one good-looking skin. It's a bit surprising that they removed a streamer-designed skin from rotation, as there's always new fans to buy it, but considering Syndicate barely plays the game anymore, we can kind of see why. And at number 2, we've got the Star Spangled Ranger, last seen in the shop 327 days ago. When most rare skins showed up for their one appearance in the item shop, you might find them sitting there available for a week. Plenty of time for you to decide if you actually want it or not, and have a look at other players using it on the map. The Star Spangled Ranger, though, was only in the shop for a few days in the beginning of July of last year. She dons the good old colors of the red, white, and blue to match the United States of America's 4th of July Independence Day. This was a skin that combined representing the USA with one of the community's favorite default skins, Ramirez, so it definitely was going to sell well, but because this was designed for a specific holiday, the chances of it showing up again are minimal at best. At the most, it might be released for 2019 Independence Day, but most likely they'll have a new skin by that time. Number 1 is the Ghoul Trooper, last seen in the shop 546 days ago. Now we're bringing it back to one of the most OG skins in the game, one that hasn't appeared in the item shop in over a year and a half. 540 plus days. The Ghoul Trooper. It was one of Fortnite's first epic grade skins, and part of the first set that introduced an eccentric monster-like skin, which almost 2 years later is not much compared to the skin that we have today, but back then it was the next big thing. Even today, though, the Ghoul Trooper still looks like a great skin. The outfit's all torn and she has rotten and open wounds covering her glowing aqua green-like skin. But unlike her male counterpart, the Skull Trooper, she didn't reappear in the item shop a year later. She stayed completely exclusive to the OG owners. What will be really interesting to see this time next year is which skins we think are common now are suddenly part of the collector's library later down the line.